What is happening, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Tonight we are taking a look at the Honey Badger Knives Large Tanto. Now, this is my first experience with a Honey Badger knife, and I have to say, first and foremost, shout out to Mikey Reese for lending this in for me to take a look at. Second, hit the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button before you head out. And let me know if you have any experience with Honey Badger knives. You know I love hearing from you guys. So this is my first experience with Honey Badger knives, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. I've often looked at these knives and almost got one several different times and kind of held off. But I have to say, I think they are doing a fantastic job for being a newer company. It seems like they are doing all the right things. I would like to see some changes from them in time. Over the course of the next year or so, I would like to see some changes, some different steels being used, 14C, 154. I would also like to see some different handle materials, and I have no issue with also using the 8CR 13 MOV that they use, and I don't have any issues with the FRN. But expand what you're using. I think they use D2 as well on some knives. I could be wrong about that part, but I want to see them expand because this is a good quality knife here at the price point. They're under 50 bucks. Now, Miguron, you can go get 14C 28N, G10, semi-contoured handles, titanium pocket clip for under 50 bucks. So which one are you taking? Contour G10, 14C 28N, titanium pocket clip, nice backspacer here, anodized aluminum pivot collar, and they are exactly the same price. And sometimes these can be even a little cheaper. Now, on Honey Badger Knives website, these are going for $47. They might be cheaper elsewhere. But Miguron to Honey Badger, they are almost identical in price, but I do not believe they are anywhere close to identical in the materials that you are getting. So I just wanted to make that a side note, although I do really like this knife. As far as Honey Badger Knives website and their pricing, I think it's priced a little high. I think this is probably more like a $30 knife. But, just starting out, they got to charge what they got to charge in order to continue going. Miguron has been around a little longer than them, but the ability to charge under 50 bucks and give 14C, G10, and a titanium pocket clip, that is just some profound shit right there. I mean, Miguron is killing it. I mean, absolutely killing it. Nobody can compare with Miguron's budget knives. And I don't care if we're talking Sencut, Civivi, CJRB, Honey Badger, Kaiser. It doesn't matter who you bring into the equation. Nobody compares to Miguron's budget knives right now. And I hope that changes. So that's what I'm kind of getting at. I would like to see Honey Badger kind of make some of them changes and stay in that lower price, under 50, under 60 bucks. Go with some 14C, maybe give us a little micarta here or some G10. If you got to keep the pocket clip the way it is, then you got to do that. This will be reversible for our lefty buddies out there. I do like how they have the clip hidden behind the handle there, or beside this scale here, and then they also recess the screws. The pocket clip is pretty well done. They kind of end it right there, so you don't have anything kind of digging up into your hand. It is very comfortable. You do have good access to the liner. They do put a little bit of jimping on there. I would have preferred some jimping and a chamfer, or just a chamfer, but good enough access with the jimping does make this easy to disengage, and it is comfortable. The opening methods are great. You can thumb flick it out, reverse flick it out, and the flipper tab works very good for the light switch and the push button. Detent is tuned perfectly. I do like this Tanto blade shape here. I love this little swedge going to the tip. It really reminds me of the Bugai in a sense. Little bit different blade shapes, but a very cool look with that swedge starting down here and going to the tip. So I do like that little touch there. And then you have a swedge coming this way, making a nice little point there. I like the unique cutout that they have. Show side's pretty clean. You have the little badger there. No issue with that. And the steel marking on the lock side or clip side. So pretty clean altogether. Some fine jimping. I wouldn't mind seeing that extended out here. Basically right here does nothing for anyone unless you're like way back here on the handle. If I'm going to be up here, you know, I want it to come out to here. So just some little pointers. Not that Honey Badger will ever see this video, but those are just my insights, my input. I'd like to see some different steels. I would like to see some different handle materials. Just kind of add to what they're doing. You have a 3 1/8 on the cutting edge, about 3 1/4 total, 7 1/4 overall. So it's, you know, your mid-size knife. It's not heavy at all. The FRN, and you have inset liners. So this is going to be pretty lightweight, 3 ounces. So pretty good ratios for the most part. We can throw a couple of knives up here for comparison. I think the Deca will be right on point. Yeah, that is a pretty good comparison there. The Hogue Ritter is going to be quite a bit bigger. The Parrot 3 is basically right in line, and then the PM2 will be a little bit bigger than the Honey Badger there. And we'll do 2 more. How about the Centurion from Miguron? And since we had it out here a minute ago, we'll do the Kaiser Bugai, which that is a very fair comparison there with the Bugai and the Parrot 3. So you get a good idea there on its actual size. We can do a quick blade stock check on this guy. It's not real thick. 135, so about average, and it does come down pretty thin here. Yeah, that's coming down around 16 thousandths back here towards the tang. How about this secondary edge? That is a little thicker, coming in at 23 thousandths. So it's still pretty thin. We can go ahead and cut something with this guy. So we'll cut something, see how this edge is. ACR is a pretty good steel if you are, you know, under a certain price point. And I think 50 bucks or the 47 that they're charging is literally the max. That's, you know, if it's at 50 bucks, they should have a little other touch on this thing. And I don't really see it. So it came with a pretty good edge. I don't know how that secondary edge is. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I like the knife overall. I would just like to see some different changes. You know, if I'm going to spend 50 bucks, I'm definitely not going to look at this knife. I'm going to look at Miguron. I'm going to look at CJRB. I mean, the logo here, that is a you know, that's around a $50 knife right there. And like I said, the Centurion is just a game changer. The Moyero 14C 28N G10 titanium pocket clip. I mean, and these are under 50 bucks, guys. So it just, I don't see it. I don't see the price point with this knife. I do like the knife. I like the blade shape, and going off their website, I see they have a bunch of different blade shapes and colors that they're using. So I would really like to see them expand what steels they're using, what handle materials they're using. It doesn't look like they've added some blade shapes to their catalog, but they haven't really added a whole lot. I do see they have a limited edition Tanto with jade scales and 14C 28N, but they want $100 for that. So they need to get with the program as far as their pricing is concerned. And their D2 offerings, which they do offer, those are about $56 for some of the small ones. If they have large ones, I'm not. Oh, I am. Nope, those are still small. So their prices go up with the D2 by quite a bit. It looks like their average is between 30 and 70, and it does look like they are starting to experiment with 14C 28N. I do see a couple of knives with that, but they are $70 and they are still using FRN. So it keeps going back to the materials versus the cost. I would rather have a plethora of other knives and other knives from other companies and get better materials. So I think they are expanding, but I think they need to work on their pricing a little bit more. But all in all, they have a good design language going. They have a good thing going. I just think they need to work on their price a little bit more and definitely start offering some other handle materials, because FRN does not interest a lot of people, and I am one of them. I typically do not buy any knives with FRN. Very, very rarely do I buy a knife with FRN. So they are cutting out a huge part of the market that would give them a shot, but they're not offering anything but FRN. So they're really cutting out a big chunk of the market who just does not buy plastic scales no matter what it is. So, you know, G10 and micarta are out there, and you can do a lot with G10. There's plenty of different micartas. So I think they've come a long way, and they're doing a great job, but I think they have a long way to go as well. Let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. Don't forget that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel or you've been here before and you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below the video. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.